Cancer, hello there my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early August 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Cancerians out there. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Shuffle it up here one time and see what we got, my guides. Talk to me. Got the Cancerians in early August, and yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself, and at the very end I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But enough of all that, let's get it rocking. Let's go. What do we got for the Cancers, please? Guides and spirit team, there we go, thank you. All right, so we do have this feminine figure. This is a big card of communication, but also someone that might be looking back on the past quite a bit when we have her showing up. That's an interesting card because it pairs with another in this oracle deck, so there's a lot of little sub notes in her messages. Before we fully dive in though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely lady and her awesome dress and that very interesting hat. So notice that the direction she's looking at is into the past. So in this time for a lot of Cancerians, maybe you're looking back on certain memories, whether good ones, bad ones, indifferent ones. Not saying that this is someone stuck in the past, but whenever your mind starts going, it might be going in that direction. So just know you might be reminiscing with people, talking about memories, stuff like that. However, this to me is a big card of someone that wants to communicate, someone that wants to talk about something or feels like there's a talk of importance here. Notice that she's holding the letter, there's birds up in the sky. Those are all symbols of somebody wanting to have some sort of communication. So whether this is somebody wanting to talk to you, you wanting to talk to somebody else, it's showing up here front and center for a reason. And for a portion of you, it could just be the importance of open, honest, clear communication in this time. Okay, like if you want something, be upfront about it. Like if you want to change something, if you're happy with something, if you're upset with something, honesty is the best policy when this card shows up. But we're just going to put her off to the side right now. I always say the first card doesn't make or break the reading, it's just a footnote. We're going to get into tarot now, so let's shuffle it up one time and see what we got for the Cancerians here as we move on into August. What do we got, my guides? What's up with Cancer, please? So while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Emotional Warning. And the reason it was titled that is I did feel that for a lot of Cancerians, or at least the people around you, there was a lot of ups and downs more than normal. Okay, like you might have been feeling really good one second, rough the next, and back and forth and back and forth. There was a lot of ups and downs and a lot of connection to emotions. We had a lot of that cup energy. So hopefully you haven't been going through anything too rough. But we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. So let's get these first three cards out. What do we got for the Cancerians in early August, please? Thank you. All right, we're starting good here, my friends. Okay, I don't want to jinx it just yet, but we got one of the best cards in the whole deck in position number one. We got the 10 of Cups. Starting us off here, that is like everything. This is a card of everything to me. Let's get you two more. Wish fulfillment, happy life, happy family. This good energy here. Okay, we got the Hanged Man. This could be somebody analyzing something. Interesting stuff. How we go from like the 10 of Cups to the Hanged Man. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. There could be something you're keeping tabs on, right? Something you're like just keeping a watch on, keeping an eye on it. Let's get you one more. Thank you. All right, we got the 10 of Swords. So talk about hot and cold, just like I was speaking about. We have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Swords, the complete opposite bookends. And I'll say this, I don't normally get intuitive just yet, but there might be a situation or something you're going through where you're unsure right now about how it's going to turn out, or you're unsure, like, all right, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Like things like that might pop up in the coming week. We also have that back and forth, but let's go through. I'll give you the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I know I was already speaking about it. We got 10s on either end. So we're beginning with an end. We got another end on the end. So you see what I mean? Like endings could be in the mix in one way or another, right? But we have the extreme opposites. Like there's not a lot of middle ground here, especially with the Hanged Man in the middle. So whether this is decisions, like you might be in the midst of a big decision, or there's an unsure feeling I'm picking up already. But let's go through one by one and let's talk about it, because life doesn't all just have to be one situation. This could be multiple different things. So let's talk about it. Position number one, we got the 10 of Cups. Like I said, wish fulfillment. This card is everything, right? Like when I see it, it does speak about emotional fulfillment, what your true happiness is, where you want to go, what you want to do, who you want to be. This is a card of your end goals, aside from the wish fulfillment. So when this shows up, we could be seeing various blessings. We could be seeing various wins and victories and triumphs. So I really want to clarify this and see what it's about. For a portion of you, this could just be a hyper focus on the family unit, people that you're related to or just very, very closely emotionally attached to. Tens can also link to the home as well. So the fact that we have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Swords in here, a lot of you might be thinking about switching home or changing your living arrangements in some sort of way. Obviously not every Cancer. But moving to the center, this is where it starts to get a little more interesting. We have the Hanged Man in the center, not a bad card. I link this to the Scorpio collective, the collective of transformation. When we see the Hanged Man, some people also link it to Virgo. Notice that this person, they're watching something. When I see this card, I think of somebody stepped back. So you might be pulling your energy back from something. You might be taking a step back and analyzing. If you're not doing that, Spirit might want you to look at something a little deeper, right? This to me is a big card of analysis. This is a card of self-sacrifice, taking one for the team, putting others' happiness over your own in some sort of way. So there could be a lot of things linked in with this, but what I was feeling initially when we got this Hanged Man is there could be an issue, a situation, or a problem that you may have identified, and you could be really like honing in on it or analyzing. For some of you, you might be under someone's microscope here. Someone might be keeping an eye on you. You might be keeping an eye on someone or something as well. So we'll just have to see when we clarify it. It could be a lot of different things. Now, as we move to the back end, don't be nervous about this 10 of Swords chilling back here, even though it could be some rough energy, right? We all experience 10 of Swords moments in our life. Okay, the imagery is a little unnerving, right? Especially if you're new to tarot. This card is an end of a cycle, right? The good thing, the positive thing about this 10 of Swords is that there's nowhere to go but up from here. Like this is like end of the road type of energy. Now the 10 of Swords, it can represent pain of various different kinds, and it could be on a scale. It could be something very minor. It could be something extremely major. Okay? I always say keep your head on a swivel when the 10 of Swords shows up in a spread, because this could be like illnesses and stuff like that as well. But this is the complete opposite of the 10 of Cups. Like, whereas this is wish fulfillment, happy, everything you want, this is the opposite of that. So we do have two cards of endings, but they're ending in two different ways. And that's why I was getting that vibe that there might be something you're going through, whether it's a problem, issue, or situation, where you don't quite know how it's going to turn out, or is this a good thing or a bad thing. There could be a little confusion happening. So we're going to put this 10 of Swords here, okay? And I know I'm downplaying the 10 of Swords a little bit. It can be harsh, right? It could be pain and a loss even. So with all that being said, I want to dive deeper, Cancer. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here and reset this deck. It's going to be interesting here. What do we got for Cancer, please? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 10 of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, 10 of Cups time. Why is that 10 of Cups here? Okay, not a huge fan of this, my friends. Okay, there's a masking here. There's some sort of masking here. We have the Devil in the upright underneath this 10 of Cups. Something's being masked. That's like the first thing, and it's like continuously going through my head, whether it's like a feeling that you're suppressing or whether it's somebody's motives. I'm gonna try my best not to get too dramatic with it, but the Devil in the upright, once again, complete opposite energy of what we have with the 10 of Cups. So when we get to this 10 of Swords, if we get another super happy card, there's a ton of duality that's going to be in this reading. Now, for a portion of you, if you're connected to Capricorn, this could be a very good thing, right? Because this is the card that represents Capricorn. But when I see this card, I think of things that have been going on for a long time. I think of long-standing issues. This could represent obsessions. This could represent toxicity. This could represent somebody feeling like a prisoner in some sort of way. So there's a lot of different things attached to this devil. But once again, like I said, the first thing initially I was feeling was someone or something masking. Okay, like not showing its true colors, not showing its true self for whatever reason. Okay, maybe there's an issue or a situation you're going through that you're trying to do your best to see the silver lining or gloss over it. That's a big possibility. You might be in that mode, like, all right, well, for the time being, I'm just going to let it be. That's a vibe I'm picking up here. So this could be a warning for sure, depending on how the rest of this plays out. Okay, because whenever we see the devil energy, we need to take note and see that it could be a warning. But I am getting that vibe that there is that masking. All right, whether it is you masking feelings or somebody masking their true self. Let's keep moving. I don't want to get hung up here. We're going to see what's up. I mean, for a portion of you, if we were to take the highly optimistic feeling, like maybe you are completely obsessed with some sort of outcome, right? Like if you have a goal in mind, if there's some place you want to go or your ideal outcome, you could be totally obsessed with reaching it. In that case, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But let's see what's up with that Hanged Man. Why is that Hanged Man here? Thank you. King of Pentacles in the upright. Good. Okay, yeah, this is someone weighing the pros and cons. To me, this is someone like, all right, how do I get the most optimal outcome here? Okay, what is the best thing to do? What is the best route? How do I get there? What do I do? The King of Pentacles, now we're getting a lot of earthy energy along the bottom, grounding things down. So there could be a big focus on monetary things, abundance work, stuff like that. Now, the King of Pentacles, for a portion of you, maybe you are linked to an earth sign. It's showing up big here. When I think of this, I think of abundance. I think of very sturdy type of energy. So I would say this is very good in the midst of all this other energy. The fact that we have the Hanged Man and the King of Pentacles, this is the energy of someone who is like a rock. So maybe this is someone that you're connected to where like in the midst of craziness, this is someone that you could really rely on to be that rock. Or maybe this is how you're treating something. Like maybe you're like, okay, I can handle this. I'm going to handle this and I'm going to take my time with it. But I feel like to me, this is someone weighing pros and cons and options. That's a big thing I'm feeling here. They want to get the optimal result and they're in no rush for whatever reason. That's just what I'm picking up here, Cancer. So along with all the other stuff we got going, like you might have to watch out for somebody's motives for sure, especially with what we got going on here, then here. You might need to watch like whose motives, because this is somebody possibly watching and analyzing to try to get the most of a situation. Let's go in on that Ten of Swords. Obviously only take it if it hits. But yeah, there could be someone analyzing you even. But let's see why that Ten of Swords is here. And then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow card. There's that Ten of Swords here. Thank you. I mean, we have Lady Justice in the upright underneath this Ten of Swords. Okay. Yeah, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You could try to move things in a certain direction. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Lady Justice could represent a Libra, so some of you could be having issues with a Libra when she shows up here. She is a huge karmic energy. So for some of you, you might need to know, like, there's someone very close to you that could be paying some sort of large karmic debt. Karma could be served up to somebody very large here. But once again, like I said, like, if something's meant to end in a rough way, it's going to end in that way. If it's meant to end in a more positive way, that's how it'll go down. You could put effort, you could put manifestation and make things happen, but some things can't be forced. Okay, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down here. But for another portion of you with Lady Justice underneath the Ten of Swords, like this is the final decider. This is universal karmic energy. And when I see it under a card like the Ten of Swords, it's like, okay, well, that person is going to reap what they sow, what they've put forth. The seeds that they've put into the ground will one day sprout. Okay, so it's that karmic energy. So we could take this as a big karmic warning of some sort, or we could just say somebody's going to catch a dose of karma. Okay, close, whether you witness it or not. Okay, whether this is somebody, like, however it applies to you, there could be various people around you paying big karmic debts in this time, that's for sure. Okay, and yeah, there's still the energy of endings here, but let's go through and do a quick recap. This is a very complex reading this week, Cancer. Only take what hits for you. If you look in the box, position number 1, and I did say it since the beginning, we have the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Hanged Man. might be thinking, all right, is this a good thing or a bad thing? How's this going to work out? How's it going to end? But we have the 10 of Cups with the Devil in the upright. Two main things I was feeling. There could be somebody masking something, whether masking their feelings, masking their motives, just not showing true colors for whatever reason. For a portion of you, maybe it is an obsession with a certain outcome. Okay, like I want it to go down this way, or this is what I want. You might be very locked in on whatever your outcome is. Moving to the center, we have the Hanged Man with the King of Pentacles in the upright. This is an energy of somebody that is very hard to budge. This is someone who is like a rock. I'm picking up that energy in the center, like regardless of what's going on around them, they keep a good head about them. But I was also getting a vibe of somebody saying, all right, what benefits me the most? Like what's going to be optimal? What do I got to do? And I was also getting the vibe of somebody analyzing you or possibly watching you. So keep your head on a swivel. Moving to the back end, we have the 10 of Swords with Lady Justice in the upright. Whatever's meant to be will meant to be. You could stress it, you could try to switch it as best you can, but some things are just going to turn out in a rough way. But the big thing I was picking up here is like this could be a big karmic warning that various people around you, what they've put into the ground will sprout. Big karmic energy, big karmic, I don't want to say retribution, but could be served up. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you a shadow card here, my friends. Let's see what's in the shadows for the Cancerians. I would say out of all the readings in the Zodiac this week, this was the most nuanced one, that's for sure. So let's see what's in the shadows for you. What do we got in the shadows for Cancer, please? And I always like to pull one shadow card at the end of every reading. I feel like it's a nice thing to do. I'll just look at it real quick like. Okay, we do have the 5 of Swords. If you have history with anybody that has narcissistic tendencies, you're going to want to keep a distance, especially in this time when the 5 of Swords shows up. But this is a card of conflict. Maybe some of you are coming out of a time of conflict, or there's some sort of mental or internal conflict when this card shows up in the shadows. But that is one of the cards I link to selfish individuals. Not calling you that. You may have had dealings with individuals that are very selfish or self-centered. They only care about their results. And they may have left a mark on you in some sort of way that might need some healing. I would also say that this card is a warning from Spirit about outward conflict. So in this time, like maybe be a little more reserved than normal and don't get pulled into anyone's BS when this card shows up. So yeah, Cancer, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 3 winners for 3 different tarot decks. It will be a winner's choice this month. So if you want the Gilded Tarot, it's your choice. If you want the Witch's Tarot or anything under $40 US, 3 winners will be chosen. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what you think is the best use for tarot. Speaking to spirit, shadow work, inner work, confusion, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, in August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you soon.